Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have our friend joining us again, Gina Crosheck. She's the owner of PrismsScape Gems and Healing Center, and we're thankful she's back with us today to talk about all this amazing work she does. She's from Iowa City, and this metaphysical company offers so much to people all over the world. We're talking about jewelry, gifts, crystals, and she really, is in the divine service in a sense, right? With the Reiki, past life regression, crystals, and so much more. Let me have, Gina introduce herself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Thank you.
Hello. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I spent 33 years as a university administrator, but along the way, I had a spiritual awakening, and as a result of that, we opened up a Gems and Healing Center. And that was 10 years ago. So it's been exciting.
And how do we contact you?
We're at www.PrismsScape, PrismsScape.com, and our phone number is 319-351-2907, and you can send a email to info@PrismsScape, PrismsScape, or to Gina at PrismsScape, Gina.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. We're excited that you're here and ready to talk today, more about the work that you all are doing. And let's start off with some of your healing modalities. One that I'm very interested in because I don't really know much about, integrative kinesiology. What is that?
It's actually a combination of Western and Eastern medicine.
Okay.
And so the individual who offers that to us is trained originally in Western medicine as a chiropractor. And then over the next several years, he spent 4 different times he went and studied with the Chinese masters.
Wow.
And the mountain where they have where they say the healing arts started in China. And so he can see and look at you, and he has developed a way of connecting the brain back to the body, because a lot of times the illness that we have or the discomfort we have is as a result of a disconnect in the brain.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. In fact, he's been working with a young woman who had a pretty serious brain injury. And she said it's just amazing after 2 sessions how much she has improved. And this is after several years of rehab. So.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Mm-hmm. This is impressive. And how does it really, work?
I just say it's magic. I mean, honestly, it is, because it's non-invasive. And he uses applied kinesiology, and that is a muscle testing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not.
Heard of it.
But they developed somewhere along the way, they developed a system of muscle testing.
Okay.
Yes or no answers. And so the body will tell you whether or not it's this thing or it's that thing. And it's a whole process of going through, working with you individually and testing that.
Wow.
And then he has techniques that he'll just tap here, tap there, and it's just amazing. And it is wonderful to witness the changes that he has helped so many people. And he works with autistic children and has seen particularly some that are nonverbal, and has seen amazing results.
My goodness. I love hearing about this. Well, what else? For other healing modalities, you're talking about massage. What type of massage is this?
We have we have 2 massage therapists working out of our healing center, and they go from Swedish massage to microfacial facial. And so the inner tissue work the really deep trigger point massage. So there are just such a wide range of types of massage. And one is beginning to be trained in lymphatic drainage as well. And so they really work with the client to see what's going to be best for them. And I've been using one of our therapists for several years, and they have become expert in something called cranial sacral.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know what that is, though, but yeah.
Well, it's they figured out how to measure or feel the waves of the spinal fluid in the body, and then they can adjust those and work to change the flow and increase it or do whatever the body needs at that particular time. And it's a very sophisticated kind of massage, but it is, the results can be also quite extraordinary.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right, because, this obviously is the hands-on. Yes, this one can't be done virtually. We got to be hands-on for the massage, right? And
generally.
Yeah. And, what type of credentials do you need as a massage therapist, or, what do you need to be able to do this?
I believe you need to already be a licensed massage therapist to take the classes, but I could be mistaken. And so they have trained, and there are different levels. So, for instance, Jamie is our therapist working with cranial sacral. She just went to a 4-day class, all-day class in Chicago to learn what's called somatic cranial sacral. And that's working with the emotions, because so much of the trauma that we hold in our body is linked into the emotions that we have. And so often we just ignore them. We just say, oh, I can't deal with that right now. But the body has to deal with it. Yeah. And so this type of modality allows us to release trauma from the body.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's astounding.
And you mentioned briefly cranial sacral before, but could you kind of walk me through what that is exactly?
It is, you're laying on a massage table, and you're fully dressed. So it's very different than getting physical massage. And they are able to assess what needs to be worked on. And they literally are putting their hands a lot of times on the back of your head, where your occipital muscles are, and working with it and feeling and understanding what the flow is going on. Okay. And then they just follow the guidance of the body in doing the work. When I get a cranial sacral session, I just go out. It just puts me right to sleep.
It relaxes you that much. How long does the session last for?
So much. So it lasts up to an hour.
Okay. Interesting.
45 minutes to an hour.
All right. And if you are wondering who we're talking to, Gina Crosheck, she's live here on the Zoomcast and podcast. Go to PrismsScape.com. Again, that's Prism, PrismsScape.com. We're talking about her gem and healing center and all that she can do to help you here. And we're excited that she's joining us. And thank you for promoting us on your website, too, with the podcast. I noticed that earlier. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And in talking today here about, more of your modalities, just curious, you have something coming up in next weekend, I think it is?
Yeah, our second Saturday event. And in fact, she was our first employee. Tammy Howard is returning, and she has since become a Karuna Reiki master, which is the highest that you can be. And she will be working with crystals and Reiki, but she also trained as a massage therapist, and she's also trained in working with individuals who are emotionally in trouble at this time.
Oh, beautiful.
So she's going to come and offer sessions to people, and that's very exciting.
And that's going to be at your location, which, by the way, is what?
It's in Iowa City, Iowa, and it's on the east side. And so we would love to see people and also talk with people. People can also call and talk with us and work with us, and we can do generally distance sessions on just about any of our modalities.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Also, let's continue the conversation to talk about working with galactics. What does that even mean?
Okay.
Because it's out of this world.
It is out of this world. Before I do that, I have to say thank you for recommending me for Professional of the Year.
Oh, congratulations. Of course. Yes, she's our Professional of the Year. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'd forgotten it time after time, but I had to interrupt.
You are so welcome.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
So galactics is one of those really interesting things where you sort of hear about things like aliens and all of that, and then you hear about, but since coming into the spiritual realm, one of the things that I've learned, and I have actually interacted with galactics, there are people, so I'm talking about beings who are actually from other planetary systems or from star systems. And so some of them that are known are Arcturians, people from Sirius, Palladians, and or Pleiadians, depending on how you say it, and from just multiple star systems. And it is one of the things that happens is when you begin to open up to hearing what is out in the invisible realm from our eyes, then all of a sudden you are able to make contact with, or they're able to make contact with you and talk with you about what's going on in the world. And there are numerous individuals who are working in this area. We've had books that have been channeled by one of the books that I particularly appreciated was We the Arcturians, and one of the other ones that was really quite wonderful was The Light Shall Set You Free. And so there are numerous references or resources available for people who are interested in working with galactics. And that has been one of the more remarkable things about the work that people are doing now, is that they can, and they're all good. They're not scary or they're just not scary. They're not threatening, and they want to help Earth to evolve and to succeed.
Well, that's something new to me. I'm learning, which is awesome. And yeah,
it is quite surprising. So you have, as a result, and a lot of this has been for years. It's been in fiction. And so I think a lot of the fiction has been channeled and opened up people to new possibilities. And the thing is we're finding that many of those things that were written about and what we thought were fiction, there's some reality to them.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. And wow, that's new to me. And then we have meditation, Reiki, we have yoga, past life regression, energy, body scans, angelic chakra integration, and so much more. Mm-hmm. Where do we go to next? Where did you want to dive into?
Well, we can go, meditation, most people are very familiar with. Many people are familiar with Reiki and with yoga. We've talked about past life regression in the past. I'd go to angelic chakra integration.
Okay.
And one of the things that we have a woman in Cedar Rapids named Stephanie Ryan who brought through this modality of angelic chakra integration. So it's working with 7 archangels, and we are, and they give messages to the client. And so it's a modality that I use.
Yeah.
And again, it's sort of like once you open that door to the invisible world, you're able, with time and space, to just, they disappear on you, and you're able to visit with or consult with and work with so many different beings, but particularly the angelic realm has been very, very present in our world at this time. And so that's one, and working with the archangels is quite remarkable.
Wow. And when you mean angels, could you share like what angels?
So in the angelic chakra integration, you're working with Archangel Shamiel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ezekiel,
oh my gosh,
and Archangel Uriel. There were, when I first started in this in 2002, I didn't know anything about angels. I mean, I hardly even knew. I certainly didn't know that there were different realms, that you had angels, you had archangels, you have seraphim. In fact, it's one of the fascinating things when in the Catholic Mass, they actually go through all of the different realms of the angels. And so you've got the dominions and thrones. And so it's just quite remarkable. And so the archangel realm is one that most people are familiar with, like Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
Most people are familiar as being the sword of God. Mm-hmm. And if you want protection, you call on Archangel Michael. And and if you want to be able to speak, you call on Archangel Gabriel. And healing is Archangel Raphael. Shamiel is working is love, and Jophiel is working with joy, and Uriel is working with peace, and Ezekiel is working with interacting with the higher realms.
Wow.
And, yeah.
All right. Wow. So we got that one down, but there's still so much more to talk about. And we only have 7 minutes left. So tell us, what else did you want to share about? And, I love hearing about you working with angels. But, whatever you want to talk about, there's still so much more on our list today. I hope we get through it.
I think one of the things that most people who go out and walk in nature are very familiar with is the incredible consciousness or the peace that they feel when they're walking amongst the trees. And so the trees are continually communicating. And right now, with what happened in North Carolina, particularly in the mountain area, which is where my sister is. And so it's just, I've been totally wrapped up in that. And the trees in one neighborhood, 1,000 trees went down.
Ah.
And so this knowledge will go across because they have, I think it's called mycelium. Mm-hmm. They communicate with each other through this particular type of, I think it's kind of fungus or moss, and it goes literally around the world. And there's a woman who wrote a book, I think it's called The Mother Tree, who discovered this and has written about the communication system among trees. And the trees are all very, very healing. And so, and they're always just, they don't have agendas. Mm-hmm. They're just there to help us heal and to allow us to work with them. So there really is something to hugging a tree. And so in terms of the energy transfer between the trees and us. And so, and then there are other things that we want to be familiar with. Many of us, any of us who own pets, start to communicate with our pets. Mm-hmm. And you have professional animal communicators now who are working with them. And but we become animal communicators with our pets, so our dogs, our cats. And one of the amazing things is when we seem to be right, and they do a good job of teaching us. And because they've also lived, the animals have lived in different kinds of lives. They may or may not have been human in a past life. And so, and then the other thing that I talk about is the last thing would be ascended masters.
Okay.
So ascended masters are people like Jesus, Christ, who on this plane, or when they came into this plane, they had such a high understanding of the spiritual realm, particularly being connected into the oneness of all that is. And some of those ascended masters are Buddha, are Confucius, and other beings that we've called at some point in time. Sometimes they're founders of religion, like Abraham, and so on. And so it's a wide range. One of the better known ones is Saint Germain. And so,
Oh my goodness. Well, we still got just 3 minutes left today, so I'm sorry I have to keep, reminding you of that, but we got to kind of wrap up soon. So what else do you want to add in quickly?
I think I would add that people need to just be open to understanding that the world is so much bigger than we think it is, and also to understand that being open and that the help that is out there, a lot of people understand angels, and that the angels are there to help us. And so I would just say be open to understanding that there are other things, and to be assured that that they're all there to help us.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again. And how can we contact you?
You can contact me through my email, Gina, Gina, at PrismsScape, PrismScape.com, or you can send it to us at our info on our webpage, info@PrismsScape.com. And you can also call 319-351-2907 and talk with us.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here, and
Thank you.
Hopefully we will meet again. Congratulations again on being our Professional of the Year, and can't wait to speak with you again, Gina. Are we back next week?
Okay. It's either next week. I'll send you.
Probably the next week, because I'm actually off on vacation next week. So I will see you then next week. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.